Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches the Movie. This is episode number 278. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today we've got Kevin Rakestraw. How are you, Kevin?
Good.
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. How are you? Hurting?
Oh, man.
So he said? Hurting? What's going on, dude?
Long story.
Long story?
Is this a physical thing or an emotional thing? Or both? Okay.
You're hurt. Oh, okay.
That's good. I consider that better.
I guess. The most inconsistent podcast on the internet is back with another episode.
That's right.
What movie do we have you watch this week, Ryan?
Carpool.
Carpool. This is from 1996. Picked this in honor of American Family Day. Coming up this week. I have a synopsis here. A man with an important business meeting finds himself having to take care of the carpool for the neighborhood school children when his wife gets sick. Stopping to get donuts for the kids, things go even more awry when he finds himself a victim of a robbery. However, the situation only gets worse as a desperate man who has been contemplating a bank robbery robs the robbers and takes the man and the kids hostage in their van as his truck is blocked by an armored car. It goes on from there, but we'll get Ryan's...
Well, my favorite is the sentence after that. How they just call it the thing.
Yeah. So this stars Tom Arnold. Ryan, tell us a little bit about Carpool.
Well, I have to say it's one of the best movies ever. I know it's awful, but I love this movie as another kid. Basically, Tom Arnold has a carnival, and it's failing, and he wants to rob a bank in order to get money to save it. And meanwhile, there's a guy that has to drive the carpool to school because his wife is sick. So he does that, and after he makes it all the kids up, they say, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And he says, okay, well, I'm gonna stop and get us donuts. And they're all should have been. So this guy goes to this gourmet food chain, which ironically, later on that day, he has a meeting with the head of the whole chain in order to conduct business with them. And he goes in, and of course, the first thing the guy working there says is, we don't sell donuts, we're a gourmet food chain. And they go back and forth, and there's also an older lady looking for other food, and the two guys come in, and they attempt to rob the gourmet food store. And the old lady pulls a gun out and tries to, tell them to stop doing what they're doing. And just wait for the police.
Stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So the lady at the gourmet food store has a gun.
Yeah. And she's like 85.
All right.
Probably not that old, but she's older. And they say the one guy puts the gun down, and the other guy puts the gun back at her, and she immediately drops her gun. So that's the situation there was. And then Tawana goes to the grocery store with the intention of robbing it. And he sees that other people are robbing it. So he decides to rob them. After that, there's a 30 cop that comes in. And it's, I can't think, what's the guy's name? The guy from the Sons of Anarchy.
Kim Coates.
Yeah. He's in there and he tries to stop him. And Tom Arnold takes a hostage and back to the store and takes a broom handle and blocks the door shut. And they go to leave his car and it's blocked in. So they go to the other guy's car and they get in, drive away, and all of a sudden it's Tom Arnold's asking for food, and all of a sudden the kids pop out of nowhere, and everybody gets so freaked out. There's some crazy hijinks, and then the cops try to go after Tom Arnold, and they escape, and they end up going back to the garage where his carnival rides are, and they show the kids the ride, and the other two guys come back and hold guns up to him again, and they end up jamming the Ferris wheel, and they make it spin real fast so they can throw. And the other guy ends up taking his work belongings and clogging up the Ferris wheel and
His work belongings.
And the cops come, and this guy has a breath charges, and the video's basically over.
Oh, man.
I feel as though, like, it's been a while since I've seen this movie, which the last time I think was with you guys at Ryan's house.
Yeah, probably.
And I feel like 88% of what you just kind of recounted was like the first 10 minutes of the movie. And then the very, very small percentage was the rest of the entire movie.
Yes. I think that is
Kinda,
I think that is how you summarized it.
Am I supposed
there are many hijinks.
Am I supposed to deduce from that the first 10 minutes of this movie are your absolute favorite?
No, they're just where everything important happens.
Oh, gotcha. It kind of sets everything up.
Yeah.
The one thing that I remember about this movie that I don't think that I'll ever forget, it's just been ingrained in my head,
The music.
is the fact that they play the Ramones, I Want to Be Sedated,
I
nonstop.
love that. They only play it 4 times.
They play it 4 times.
He counted. He was marking them off on his little notepad.
I mean, it's still like too much.
Have that because I remember you talking about that.
He's like, I know Adam's gonna bring this shit up. I'm gonna mark these down.
I really think that it's one of the most memorable aspects of this movie. That and the car jump that happens at the end. I think that there's a scene where the car like goes into is it in like a mall or something where it like jumps in? It like does this crazy jump.
It comes out of the second floor.
Ooh.
And it goes under the ground, obviously the ground.
Yeah, I remember watching something about like the most dangerous car stunts or something like that, and this was like one of them. They're saying that this is like one of the craziest car stunts in film, like in film history, was the stunt that they did in Carpool.
Yeah, I think that's been surpassed. I think that
Probably
placement on that list has dropped significantly over the years.
Yeah, I mean, this was before Mad Max, the new Mad Max, and all of that.
There's two things that I remember from this movie, which actually are not the two things that you remember. I don't remember those. Two things I remember are the one kid is like, he's like that weird. Doesn't he wear like goggles or something?
Yeah, the shower cap.
Yeah, I hate that kid. And then don't they like paint the car with like nail polish or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. They go to a hair salon.
Yes.
At one point, they go out and use the bathroom. And when they come out, they get purple hair dye. And a cold car.
Fantastic. Man, fantastic.
This is such a 90s movie. A dad in a hurry, a man on the run, and 5 kids with an attitude.
The kid with the shower cap, he's in that movie, Little Giants, and he blows a real big snot bubble. And I don't remember that, but
Little Giants, another classic 90s kids movie.
Another thing to know that it's the 90s is Tom Arnold. At one point, Tom Arnold headlined movies.
Yeah, Tom Arnold. He was a pretty big star. I mean, we were looking at for this week. We were looking at either this or The Stupids, which is another 90s movie starring Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold was a movie star.
He was a pretty big deal back then. Remember his role in True Lies?
Oh,
He killed it. He killed it in True Lies. Another 90s vehicle. Now, I'm looking on the poster here, and Tom Arnold is, for some reason, carrying the sack of money. He's holding it out of the window of the van for some reason. But the thing that I love about it is that it's a sack of money with the dollar sign on it. It's like the cartoon. Is that in the movie? Is there a sack of money with the dollar sign?
It's from when they were in the grocery store and they were robbing it, and that's what the money is in.
But was it in? It was in a sack with a giant dollar sign on it.
I believe I looked very closely, but what is it?
He didn't get a good look at it. He's too busy counting the times that they play the Ramones. Didn't get a good look at that bag.
I just remember that driving me crazy back then because I was a fan of the Ramones and just the overuse of that song in a movie like this, just and the kids singing along. It's just it was just awful. Rachel Lee Cook was in this. She played the oldest of the kids.
I think that's why I like this so much. I was a big fan of her back in the day.
She was pretty big there for a minute too.
Yeah,
she was in a lot of stuff back then. Few years later is when she kind of blew up. So the director, Arthur Hiller, he had a huge career. This dude did.
He's done some great comedies too. My three favorite are The In-Laws, Silver Streak, See no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I know that See No Evil, Hear No Evil has to be on there. So he looks like he worked with the classic Pryor Wilder duo for a few of their movies. I feel like I need to revisit this movie because I remember it not being good, but I don't know. Maybe I'd feel differently now. It has a 15 on Metacritic, so
That's not that good.
Hmm.
I like it more because I remember it back then.
This is just a nostalgic watch for you.
Yeah.
How many times do you think you've seen it?
Probably 10 or more.
Wow.
How many times do you wish to see it from here moving forward?
None.
Are you sure?
None. You don't think you'll ever
Nostalgia is worn off with this viewing?
Maybe one. Well, it's fresh in my mind now. So maybe when I'm like 50.
It starts receding from your memory.
Yeah.
when you forget about how bad it was. It's funny how sometimes movies work like that, where you remember loving it, you remember it being great, then you rewatch it and you're like, oh God, this is horrible. It doesn't hold up at all. And then like another decade passes and you're just like, man, I'm going to give that another try.
I remember liking that. Pretty sure.
I think the movie that does that for me is Mortal Kombat. Because I really liked Mortal Kombat as a kid, and I've revisited it several times since then. And every time I'm like, this movie is horrible. It is so bad. And yet,
I remember
every
that
decade
movie is the bucket. How he defeats Sub-Zero. It's the bucket.
Yeah.
Which, when I saw that as a kid, it blew my mind. Fucking science. Are you kidding me?
Oh God. Yeah, that movie does not hold up.
I didn't imagine that it did.
That's one of my favorite things about doing this new podcast, Saved by the 90s, is revisiting some of these movies that I saw as a youngster and movies that I loved, and going back and seeing how they hold up, how I feel about them now.
So you get essentially it's like a walk down memory lane is to see the shit taste preteen you had.
Sort of. I mean, a lot of these movies, I was younger than preteen, at least the ones that we've covered so far. I mean, I'm really glad that we're not doing like a podcast that's in the early 2000s, like when I actually started getting into movies, because I feel like that's even a worse time when I was like forcing myself to like more like what I would consider to be like kind of pretentious films now. Like that would be just so much worse.
It makes you wonder too, like, is like right now, do we have shit taste? Like, will we find out like 15, 20 years from now, we'll look back and be like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I think that that's a really interesting idea and a really interesting concept to explore, to see if there is a cutoff at some point. You know what I mean? Like, is it always progressing? Like, are you always gonna look back at what you liked a decade or more ago and be like, oh man, why did I like that? I don't understand that.
Because I mean, there's even some stuff from like the beginning stages of Film Pulse that I think back to, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why the fuck did I like that so much?
I'm sure that I would feel the same way. I can't think of any movies off the top of my head that I felt that way about.
It's not everything, but you know, there's a handful of things where it's just like, what the fuck?
I mean, I guess it's possible that your taste is just always changing and evolving, but I'm wondering if there's ever a point where it's like, if it's like cyclical, where it comes back around and you like something again that you initially liked, then hated, then started liking again.
Perhaps.
I don't know. It's
find out. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'm going to be cognizant of, that I'm going to be always kind of looking at especially now that we have tools like Letterboxd and stuff to capture our thoughts about
or it could
movies.
just be that you always have shit taste forever, and then there comes a point where you die. that's it. You don't get to realize that those movies that you liked before you died were actually shit movies.
I'd guess that it's a possibility, yes. That is a very real possibility. But I have a feeling that anybody that watches as many movies as we do, you develop a refined taste. You know, like it's all subjective, but I feel like when you consume that much and just drink in that much knowledge, that you would develop a more refined taste when it comes to film.
Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I never really thought about what you guys are talking about.
All right.
Brian, would you say that your taste in movies has changed over the years? So using Carpool as an example, you said you used to like it, but if I remember correctly, back then you knew this was not a good movie back then. We just had fun. We just made fun of this movie back then.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for you, but for me, I never liked this movie, but it was a fun movie to hate watch.
Yeah.
Do you think that there are movies that you saw back then that you loved that now you hate that you think in the future you'll love again?
No. I think it just goes away because movie making is like evolving.
Ah, okay. So you're looking at it. Okay, so you're looking at it from like a technical level. Like movies are technically better, more advanced.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's give you your drum roll for this. What do you give Carpool?
1.
That is a 1 out of 10.
Now, what do you give Carpool the experience of watching I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the experience of watching Carpool with your friends, making fun of it the entire time.
For me, I think it was 7.
Okay. So that's
it would be for everyone else.
What about a movie like Varsity Blues? Like that's a movie that I don't know if you think that's
straight up hate that movie now.
Right, but back then we loved to hate watch and quote that movie. That was a movie that we watched a lot back then. And it was never a good movie. But
I also wonder if it's because of the fact that I love like teen movies. Yeah,
do you still love teen movies though?
No.
No?
Well, kinda.
Kind of?
Without sounding weird, kinda.
You can say you like teen movies without sounding weird. I loved 8th Grade that came out a couple weeks ago, and that's definitely a teen movie.
Oh, whatchamacallit was really good. Was that Edge of 17?
Yeah.
Is that the name of that? That was really good.
Yeah. All right. American Family Day coming up Sunday.
Yes.
American Family Day on the first Sunday in August is a perfect occasion to enjoy the waning summer rays with those dearest to us. Established as a day encouraging families to spend time with one another, the day was specifically proclaimed to avoid gifts and to focus on family relationships. How you can observe? Enjoy your family. That's the big one. Just enjoy your family. And that's post on social media. Hashtag American Family Day.
That's bullshit. They create a day to not give presents. Every day is present day. It supports our economy.
It's very specifically American Family Day. No other families count. during this day.
It's such a mega, like, there's not like an American hot dog day or any of the other number of.
Right.
Well, and I mean that, like, you can do their national.
Like
Because isn't national implying American?
American, yes.
But you got to call it American Family Day. Like, it's kind of racist, I think. I think this day is racist.
Little xenophobic.
Yeah.
Maybe. This also says here, pick up some fresh fruit and visit your grandparents.
What the fuck?
What if they're dead?
Take some fresh fruit to their fucking graves, Ryan.
Yeah, my grandparents did pass away. So what am I supposed to do? Just pick up some fresh fruit and eat. Pick up some fresh fruit and eat it by yourself in your house, you fucking asshole. Oh my god! Encourage others to join in and pay it forward.
Wait, what?
Do it.
It says encourage others to join in and pay it forward.
I thought it's supposed to just be relegated to your family. Like, I'm not going to invite friends and stuff. It's American Family Day.
Well, I think that they want you to join in and have them do their own thing.
Well, I'm not talking to you. Too busy with my family.
What if your friends are your family?
But I mean, shit. I'm gotta post things. I gotta take pictures. I gotta go to the grocery store and pick up
some
fruit. Jesus. Time for more shit.
Oh my god.
I gotta go to the cemetery. Like, fuck.
How are you gonna be celebrating, Ryan? Gonna pick up some fresh fruit?
It's sure that I want to remember that day's happening.
When is this?
I'll probably be oblivious.
It's Sunday.
Sunday. Oh, Sunday Family Day. I'll go to church.
I'll go to church.
Get some fresh fruit, go to church.
Oh my god, this is amazing. I love the photo that's attached to it. This wonderful stock image of a family holding up an American flag.
Oh, wonderful.
Glorious, pure white family. Oh, Christ. All right. Any final thoughts, Ryan, on Carpool or American Family Day?
Love to hate it.
Love to hate it.
It was like, in its own way, that was like maybe the most positive I've heard Ryan watches a movie in a long time.
Yeah.
Just his tone and everything.
Yes, love to hate it.
I was pretty excited when I saw it. This was what I had to watch.
Like, next time, which this isn't going to happen because we're never going to have you watch Carpool again. But I wanted to say Carpool, and then when it actually comes on, it's the Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
You have to read the plaque about that one.
We could stitch it in. We'll stitch it in. We'll make sure the metadata is still for Carpool, and then we'll stitch in the opening to Carpool, and then the rest of it will just be the Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
I would love that. That would make my day.
Pull the rug out from underneath you there. All right, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to feedback@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet, @FilmPulseKevin, and @MyLegsDon'tWork. And if you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse. Consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week. Maybe.
See you later.